My dudes, today we are talking about what happened in the version 2.4 special live stream of Honkai Star Rail because there was a lot of stuff. I know that there was like a couple people on Twitter like during the live stream, they're like, this is a big old nothing burger, blah 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 blah. But to me, honestly, I think that this was a good live stream. I don't think I've really seen a terrible Honkai Star Rail live stream, and this definitely wasn't it, especially with the ending announcement that really shook me to my dang core, right? So today we're going to be talking about what happened in the special live stream. But before we get into that, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Honkai Star Rail video comes out. And of course, don't forget, I'm sponsored by Gamer Subs. So let's go ahead and check out this brand new deal that is coming to you this coming week, right? July 26th, we have Christmas in July. Not only are we doing a sale where we have certain tiers, you can start out with tier 1. If you spend enough money, you get the TKO cup. And I just got to tell you, I have the cup and the shirt. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous cup from Gamer Subs. I'm just saying. But on the other tiers, you can see there's plenty of other stuff. And not only are they doing the Christmas in July sale, but we are also releasing 2 more creator flavors to be announced very, very soon. Like I said, this is only a week from happening. So make sure you use code Tyson for 10% off, right? But we're not here to talk about Gamer Subs as much as I love to. We're here to talk about the 2.4 special live stream. Now, I'm going to keep it $1.50 with you. We're using Honkai.gg. Pretty good site, you know, overall. So I like them. So let's first talk about Yoon Lee and Zhao, which I figured that like there's no like J afterwards, but I don't know. I'm not very good at pronunciation, so Zhao. Anyways, phase 1, we know that Yoon Lee is coming out. Plus, we're getting a Huo rerun, which I think is actually really good. Makes sense because for the story, you're actually going to see like Hanya, Zhui Yi. We're going back basically to the Xianzhou. So we're going back there. And we already kind of knew it with Yoon Lee and Zhao, but I digress. Phase 1. Banner looking pretty solid. We're getting Hanya. I almost said Zanya. Hanya back. We're getting Lynx back, and we're getting Yukong. Now, we've seen Lynx and Hanya on banners up until like recently, I believe. I feel like I just saw them on like the last couple banners, but yeah, we're getting them both again. And then Yukong, who I haven't seen on a banner in a while. Maybe I'm just crazy, but Yukong, mommy, I love her. But yes, we're also getting Huo rerun. Very solid rerun right there. One of the best healers in the dang game. And if you haven't pulled her yet, you probably should. Phase 2, on the other hand, we got Zhao, and we got the rerun of one of the best Harmony characters out there, known as Sparkle. Now, Sparkle is really, really good. Really good for destruction characters in general, in my personal opinion, especially with Imbibitor Lune. Then you got Zhao, who's going to be a Fire Nihility unit. I find it very funny, though, that if you're going for just the Fire Nihility unit, you could just get the 4-star Gwen, which is on there. But we're also getting Hook, and we're getting Arlen. Now, those two are nothing burgers to me. I think that that's a big miss. And I think we've seen Hook recently, too, so you know, put like a Tingyun or something on there. I don't know. But we do see Hook and Arlen. We see Gwen, and we're getting the Sparkle rerun, which I think is good. And Zhao is really, really cool as well. Lots of really cool abilities on him. So, sorry, I had something stuck in my throat. Now, Zhao has some really cool stuff going on for him. His burst animation or ultimate animation looks amazing. Like, it gives me serious male Himeko vibes, which is pretty freaking insane. But yeah, he basically summons a hot pot, which is pretty cool. But overall, his abilities seem pretty good. I didn't really see anything that would cause issue or alarm. I know that some people didn't like his design at first, but I think his design looks perfectly fine. Sorry, I'm having to deal with a little bit of something caught in my throat. But yeah, I think he's a really good unit. Yoon Lee, I think, is going to be a fun destruction unit. My main concern is how good she's going to be comparatively to someone like an Imbibitor Lune, who's also destruction. But of course, she is a physical destruction unit, while Imbibitor Lune is an imaginary destruction unit. But her abilities look really, really cool. She has a parry mechanic, which is sick. So I'm pretty stoked on her. Now, March 7th, and this was something that was kind of announced during the Summer Games Fest, that March 7th is getting her own version of, you know, like kind of a altered character thing. You know how we have the Trailblazer that can switch elements and all that stuff. Well, we have this. We have March 7th being able to go to the Hunt path, and she will become an imaginary element character. Now, her abilities are pretty cool. She summons some Boba Tea, which I think is pretty sick. But overall, she looks like she's going to be a lot of fun. She has a protection mechanic as well built into this kit, from what I understood. So, yeah. But yeah, I think March 7th is going to be really, really cool. And she's free, but you have to do one of the new events to get her Eidolons. And yes, you do have to C6 her in a different way, other than the summon ones that you've already gotten. So be wary of that. We also are getting Poised to Bloom, which is going to be March 7th's Lycaon, basically, for her new path. So that's pretty dope. And then we're getting Verizons, which are basically these new enemies. Why does that have to rhyme with Verizon? What, like, are we getting like 5G towers and all that? No. Stupid joke, I know. But we're getting Wolfie Boys in Honkai Star Rail. We just got a wolf over in freaking Zenless Zone Zero, so we might as well get one in Honkai Star Rail. But these enemies are really, really cool. They have a certain mechanic to where over a certain amount of time, they get this Bloodlust stack, and if they get enough, they go into a basically an evolved version of what they are, and they can do like higher damage, faster, all that good stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. They're gonna be actually making the Trailblaze mission a dual version type of mission. So we're getting part 1 right now, and then 2.5 is gonna have part 2, which I think is really, really good. I think that's a wonderful idea. It's like a mini arc or like a filler story, but with actual sustenance. You know what I mean? And it's why we saw a bunch of the characters that we saw, like, you know, General, Fei Xiao. I don't know how I messed that up. Fei Xiao. We see Linksha coming in as well, and we got Mose, who, from my understanding, are going to make appearances in the part 1 story of this. So, very excited for that. Companion missions return. We get a companion mission with Yun Li. I know a lot of people are super infatuated with their feet. Y'all are sick. But yeah, companion mission is coming in here, so I know the Yun Li feet fans are going to be super happy about that one. Bunch of weirdos. No offense. If you're a Yun Li feet fan, just keep, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. But this is going to be the first event right here, the Saga of the Primaveral Blade, which is going to be kind of like the event story of this whole thing. March 7th is going to come in here. She's going to train. And it's got this little comic book, or not a comic book, but manga feel to it, which I think is pretty sick. And then this is how you're going to get her Eidolons. So, pretty dope event, I think. Honkai Star Rail has been really good about kind of doing these different types of events. And we're going to get to another one that kind of made me go, what the H? Here in just a moment. But this is another one of those. And this, I think, is going to be the overarching event in general. So this will be up for a long, long time. Then, of course, we got the one I was just talking about, the Operation Memoria Snapshot. This is Pokemon Snap with trash cans. You're going to take pictures of trash cans doing weird stuff. The more the weird the trash can, the better the snapshot, really. But yeah, I think that this is going to be one of those weird events, but it could be fun. Another weird one is this Trailblaze Friendship is Magic, which is a play on the whole My Little Pony thing. I like, oh my god, a My Little Pony event, basically. But it's not really a My Little Pony. What's going to happen is that you're going to go into battles and you get the trash cans as part of your team. You have 2 different difficulties, but you have to complete the first one to get the extreme difficulty. And from there, they do different abilities, which I think is cool. It's really dependent on the character that you're using, from my understanding. I don't know if that's going to mean like any character, so you could have a bunch of Kafka trash cans. If so, that'd be cool that they made all those little like portraits, as you see on this one, for every character. But this should be a pretty fun event, or a decent event in general. We got the announcements of Gift of Odyssey. Of course, Honkai Star Rail always winning on that one. Garden of Plenty for your Calyxes, and then of course Planner Fissure, basic double event, you know, the normal stuff. So we got the announcements of that, and I think those are always a plus. There are always mini events that are going on, so pretty excited for those. Now we're gonna go into the new area that we're gonna be getting into for the story, the Shackling Prison, which looks really cool. It's funny because the prison is underwater. So we got the Fortress of Meropide in Honkai Star Rail. Bravo. But I think it's cool. But we did get some new adjustments as well. The filter selection can be saved now. You have multiple saves that you could do for certain filters, especially when it comes to your relics. So I think that's pretty cool. Quick lock and quick discard function. So if you're looking to discard every single one of your defensive percentage or HP percentage or even somehow attack percentage pieces of all different types, you now have the ability to do that really quick. And I like that. I think that that should have been just a thing in general, especially if we're going to push this whole thing about, you know, the purples being able to be sold right out the gate. But I digress. You know, that's just how I feel about it. Now, relics also could be sorted by the character's prioritization. So if you look, basically, like if your character has, like, let's say in this next one too, which says new substat recommendations for each character, but we've already had a relic suggester for characters, right? So let's say you have a relic that, like this one, the I think this is the prisoners one, if I remember correctly. Or this ain't prisoners, my bad. So like if a character uses prisoners, right, and that's their preferred relic, that one will be at the top for you to find. That's a good win. It's very minuscule, but a big win on Honkai Star Rail right there. You can also see recommended characters for each relic. So each relic that you're going for in, let's say, the cavern stuff, you will see which characters benefit from those relics, right? So that's cool. I think that's a big win. Because again, it's making it easier for people to be able to find out what they want to do with their characters. So ultimately, I think, again, another massive win right there. And you could also get early access to certain events without having to play through the story. So if you are Trailblaze Power, I think it was 21. If you're already that, but you haven't progressed through the story enough, you could get early access, which they'll give you a temporary map. And then even if you get past it and you're like, okay, now I'm there in the story, don't fret, the temporary map will go away, but you will get the regular map and your progress will be saved in general. So very excited for that. Now, let's talk about the big news that nobody was expecting. Fate Stay Night is doing a collab with Honkai Star Rail in a year's time. They said this is going to be Q3 of 2025. But there's also some other things that come up with that, right? Now, there's been files in the game that have suggested the planet that they're talking about. Like, there, I guess you could pull up images of the file or the images of the planet, and it's been there for a while. Ever since the start of the game. A while. And that's huge. To me, that's a lot of promise. And I say this because, think about it. We've been playing Honkai Star Rail for a little over a year. There's that much time between the start of Honkai Star Rail. And that's already big. That's over a year. And then we have a little over a year until this collab comes through. Q3 is like July, or yeah, wait, no. January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah. So July, August, September. Now, that's basically a year. That is a year. You get my point. Point is that with that much time of this collab being planned, there's a lot of good things that could come from this collab. For those who don't know, Honkai Impact 3rd actually did a collab with Neo Genesis Evangelion and also Genshin Impact. Now, Neo Genesis actually had summonable units for the game, or summonable stuff like it's like weapons basically, or no, relics. I'd say it's like relics. Now, they had that, and those were summonable. It was pretty dang good, right? They had a pretty good collab. Genshin Impact collab, you got a free official. you know, and a good story, but that's what it was. And then, of course, we all know the elephant in the room. Genshin Impact got Horizon Zero Dawn. Let me tell you how much of a nothing burger that thing was, right? That was terrible. That was a terrible collab. But now we know that this is about a 2 to 3 year plan. So I'm thinking summonable units, and this is going to be an entire planet. This is going to be an entire planet, guys. Not just like, oh, you know, ha ha ha, have a free unit. An entire planet for this collab. I'm expecting a lot of summonable, well, at least 2. I'm expecting at least 2 summonable units. A lot of really cool things. A lot of collab. Maybe costumes. That'd be cool. But I see a lot of potential in this collab. And it's, again, another big IP. Fate Go, or Fate Grand Order, is one of the biggest gacha games on the planet. Mainly in Japan, but one of the biggest gacha games on the planet. You know, outside of, like, the Hoyoverse games and even Wuthering Waves, like, there's only a couple of games that really shoot up there and have a big, wide audience. You have the Dokkan battles, you have the Dragon Ball Legends, you have the Uma Musumes, and you have Fate Grand Order, which is always near the top of the charts. To me, that's a huge, huge win for Hoyoverse. Overall, 2.4 is looking very good, and 2.4 onward is looking very bright. 2.5, I'm already super stoked about it because of Fei Zhao. Fei Zhao's hot. I love that. I love my general girl. But what are your thoughts on version 2.4 special live stream? Did you like what you saw, or do you think that, you know, there's a little bit more that could have been done? But anyways, that's going to be it for today. Love you all to death. And as always, we will catch you in that next video. Please take care and be safe.